So the best part of being a video gamer is we get 2 Christmases a year. We get it in December, and we also get it in June for E3, our second Christmas. We'll make all the announcements of all the new games that are coming out this fall and for the following years to come. So we are going to have each week have a segment about E3 starting this week. We're going to go through the E3 press conference schedule, what has been announced by each of the companies. Then we'll talk about what our expectations and which press conference we are most excited for. And we're going to start off with EA Play, which their press conference will be on Saturday, June 10th at 12 p.m., which is a lot different from the previous press conferences. They usually started on Monday, but now they keep coming out earlier and earlier as Bethesda went to Sunday, and now it's starting on Saturday. It's more like Black Friday, which is no longer Black Friday anymore. It's on Thursday, like Thanksgiving Day, 5 p.m. They keep coming earlier. But EA, so they actually it's going to be open to the public, get to play. So they have announced at their EA Play, they're going to have Star Wars Battlefront 2, the new Need for Speed game, Madden 18, FIFA 18, NBA Live 18, which they've been struggling with the NBA Live franchise every year to keep on coming up. So that is what they have announced, and that those games will be playable, but they will again have their press conference. Again, I've actually enjoyed their press conferences. Again, they always have a very cool Star Wars trailer that they have. Again, with the sports games, but again, it's EA. It's what you expect. But hopefully, we will get their new BioWare new IP. Hopefully they will actually show. I know it's got delayed, as we discussed earlier. It did get delayed to the next fiscal year, but hopefully they should be able to show what that game is, what it's about, get us all pumped up and excited. Yeah. So that is the EA Play lineup. They are kicking off E3 this year on Saturday. Then on Sunday, Microsoft moved from the regular Monday schedule to Sunday, June 11th at 2 p.m. They haven't announced too much of what they're going to be talking about, but they did say Scorpio will be there. More than likely, they will have a price and launch date for the Scorpio. And probably they'll have Crackdown 3, the new Forza, they have to show off the graphics in 4K, and Sea of Thieves. More than likely. But they did recently say no Halo 6. Don't hold your breath for any Halo 6 announcements, which makes sense. It's every 3 years. They'll show it off next year. And then also on that Sunday, June 11th at 7 p.m. is a Bethesda press conference. Again, they haven't really announced anything that will be there. More than likely a Wolfenstein sequel that has been rumored. That Wolfenstein, have you guys played the New Order?
Heather has both the New Order and the
DLC the Old Blood that they had, the Old Blood.
Yeah, it's impressive looking. I gotta admit that they did some polishing on that game. Which makes sense because Doom, but yeah, it's a good game. It's very linear, and they throw in some of the nostalgia feel in there for the old Wolfenstein. You can play the old Wolfenstein on there too, so they included that. So it's good. Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. But again, Bethesda, Elder Scrolls probably too early for Elder Scrolls 6. They did say that's going to be later on. More than likely, probably Fallout VR, because that will be after Microsoft. Again, with the Scorpio, and that has been rumored that they're doing a Fallout 4 VR experience. So probably have that. And they actually showed that it was playable last year. They actually had Fallout. But now have it with the Scorpio. So that's Sunday. On Monday, June 12th at 1 p.m., actually announced today, Ubisoft will have their press conference. And they did announce that they're going to have Assassin's Creed, Far Cry 5, and The Crew 2 will be there. I purchased Far Cry 4. I played that. That's the only Far Cry I played. I loved it. It was incredible. Again, an open world first person shooter. And have you guys played Far Cry?
I think it was number 3 that I've played.
Yeah, we're on the island.
Yeah.
The 4th one's on an island, but 3 is when it really started to get big.
Yeah. Where he kidnaps your friends and then you're...
Yeah, that's the one I played. And he's kind of like a psychopath. And he's like, the thing about insanity.
Yeah, Insanity. Yeah. That was the E3.
That was Insanity. The one I played, which was really good for me. So.
And, Mo, did you play The Crew?
No. I was thinking about getting into that game, but then I started seeing I wasn't into like dune buggies and all that stuff. Just not my thing. But
Sarah played it. I think I got it for her for one of the Christmases. She loves the racing games, and it turns me on watching her play. So any chance I get. So played the Crew a little bit. It's more of a racing simulation, which I like. I'm not really into like the realistic like Gran Turismo or Forza. I'm not really good at those racing games. I want a simulation, which the Crew was. So that is Ubisoft. Also, on that same Monday, June 12th at 6 p.m. is the Sony press conference. More than likely, they will have Destiny 2, Call of Duty World War II, because they've been attached. Call of Duty went to Sony. Destiny, the original Destiny, was attached to Sony. More than likely, the second one will be as well. More than likely, they'll have Spider-Man. That is a Sony exclusive. The movie comes out in July. They probably won't hit the July. They will probably try for a fall, maybe for a Blu-ray release when the movie's released on Blu-ray. That might be a time. Or push it to 2018. We'll see. Days Gone and Uncharted Lost Legacy are more than likely. I hope, though, that they have something on VR. I know Farpoint VR came out today on Tuesday, May 16th. So hopefully they have a next batch of games that they've been working on for VR. Hold my breath for Star Wars X-Wing VR. And then on Monday, Mo has been waiting for this. Nintendo announced their E3 plans. They will have a Nintendo Spotlight Monday, June 13th at 9 a.m. What they have announced, they will do a Super Mario Odyssey or Mario Odyssey and Splatoon 2. Hopefully they have some surprises, but after the spotlight is over, immediately you will see Mo live and in action at Nintendo Treehouse Live. They will hold a Treehouse again, as they did last year, talk to developers, show off their amazing games, and I'm going to have Recording Mo watching it all day long on the Treehouse.
burn that bitch down.
They will also host tournaments for Splatoon 2 and ARMS live from the E3
Burn it down.
booth. So those are the announced games and some speculation of what games more than likely will show up at the press conferences. So based off that, the schedule changed now starting on Saturday. Usually the press conferences was Monday, Tuesday, but Monday was jam-packed. Usually had 4 of them. Always started with Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, and Sony on Monday, and Nintendo Tuesday morning. Bethesda joined in a few years ago, which they did, which they should have with their big announcements with Fallout 4, Dishonored 2. Hopefully they have because they're doing a press conference again, hopefully they have a big game. Again, I don't think Wolfenstein is enough to really hold a press conference around, but they might have a big surprise. They've always had a surprise, as in they show a game and it comes out that fall. Same with Fallout, Dishonored, they show that big game, comes out that fall. So with those game lineups, press conference schedules, what are your expectations for E3 this year, Rich?
What do you mean? What are my expectations? Like,
What-
what am I looking forward to?
Yeah, what are you expecting from E3? What do you think would be the big theme of the entire
A
show?
lot of that is sequels. I'm not hearing a lot of new titles. And the one that I'm most looking forward to, other than probably Battlefront, because I'm such a Star Wars nerd, is I want Red Dead Redemption 2. I want to see some footage from that. And now would be the time, because we're assuming this holiday it's going to be released. So
Assuming, yeah. So they did announce
Assumptions.
that it was, but Rockstar has been known to delay
Yeah.
games, but they've earned the right to do that
They
with
could do whatever the fuck they want.
how high quality games and how, again, their new games coming out, and GTA 5 is still all in the top 5
Yeah.
list. Again, they did a re-release Xbox One and PS4, and it sells. I think it's the number one of the top selling games ever.
well, because online's still making all that money. So
Yeah. So a lot of sequels, again, like movies, that's how it's been. Usually all the sequels and known brands, people are afraid of new IPs that usually show a few
It
of
is,
them.
but I want to see them, build
Yep.
up a Guardians
Absolutely.
of the Galaxy, and then 5 years from now we're talking about the third movie kind of
Yeah.
thing,
And Mo.
I don't know. For Bethesda, I feel like Arcane Studios might have something interesting for us. Just because they finished Dishonored, so I can see them they're working on the new IP. Maybe they. I think they want to. They've done great with Dishonored 2, and I think it's time for them to try something else. Maybe because they did they do Prey? I don't think they did Prey, did they? I can't remember right now.
Which was just released a few weeks
I'm
ago.
not too sure who did Prey. I believe it was Arkane Studio. I may be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I could see them doing something, great. I wouldn't mind seeing another Wolfenstein, see where that goes. As far as anything big surprises, I want to see what Microsoft has in store. I want to see Scorpio bring out something interesting for me. Like I said, I'll jump on once.
No, we need to see that they are back in the market as opposed to just skirting the edges like they have for the last 2 years.
Yeah, because right now, they're keeping it kind of hush-lit, but Sea of Thieves is not going to sell it for me.
No, yeah. Crackdown 3, I know supposedly it's amazing. I'm not. I don't care how it looks. I'm not a Crackdown. I
I'm a
won't.
Crackdown guy.
I think it's...
I won't.
I've
purchase
played
it.
2, and I've had fun, but it's not something I would...
No, and 2 was a letdown after 1.
Yeah.
1 was spot on what they needed to do.
So my expectations we'll just start again. That was a quick roundup of the press conference schedule, what they have planned. So EA, my expectations, they need to sell Battlefront 2 hard.
Yeah.
Again, that burned some people on the first one, and I'm partially in because it has that campaign, but they need to show more of that campaign and see, like, is that worth $60? Because I'm not going to play much of the multiplayer. Is the campaign just a shoe-in? Here it is, a 3-hour campaign. Here you go. That's what you guys asked for. No, I want a legit single-player campaign.
An 8 to 10 like Call of Duty, right?
Exactly. 8 to 10 hours of Battlefront, not some side thought just to get them excited. Oh, we heard you. No. So they need to sell that as it is. So that's my expectations. They're going to sell that hard because they know that was a fault on the first game because it was rushed to get to the movie release, and it's only 2 years in between. That's not that a lot of time for this type of game.
Just
Usually
be happy
3 years.
that DICE doesn't do facial mapping. Sorry, too soon.
Yeah. So that's my expectation. Microsoft expectation is, why buy a Scorpio? Again, you talked about Scorpio. They'll probably have that price and launch date. Again, I'm already almost in with wanting to buy Scorpio on day one, but what games are going to be released on day one? Again, Crackdown 3 is not going to do it. Sea of Thieves is not going to do it. And Forza will be a secondary game. I need a game to buy day one for Scorpio, and Forza I will get for Sarah as a set because I want to see Forza. So that'll be my excuse for her to play that racing game. I want to see it in 4K, but that's not going to be the reason why I invest $500 or $600 because I'm still going in $500. We'll make predictions at a later episode of what our E3 predictions are.
Yeah, you're going to see specs. I
don't know.
I'm being salty.
My whole sell on Scorpios, I'm still pushing it, is that State of Decay is going to be for Scorpio. I can see that already, like, just happening because the old State of Decay for PC, when I was running on max settings, it was pretty pushing it. So I can see Scorpio taking State of Decay too and ramping up those, and that was a great game to me. So that's my buy. I need to see this.
More than likely, Tomb Raider will probably be at the Microsoft press conference. Again, it probably won't be exclusive by how that deal went out with the second Tomb Raider. But again, even though it's not exclusive, they can still have it. I know at their press conference to show off. But hopefully that's what they're selling. An hour and a half of selling why invest in the Scorpio. I'm not going to pay $500 just for a little enhanced graphics, even though I'm a fucking idiot. I probably will. But I'm talking about the mainstream if they do. I can at least admit it. But I'm a fucking dumbass. But that's going to be the expectations. They're going to sell hard of why a Scorpio. So start off first 5 minutes. This is Scorpio. Price, release, date. Now the next hour 25 of the games to sell. Of what's important and what is the strategy of Scorpio.
Yeah.
With the Xbox brand.
Exactly. That's why you were reading specs and do you care about teraflops or do you care about games?
Yeah, the games.
Because if they give you all the specs in the world, but like I said, give me a Ferrari, but I can only drive at 80 miles an hour. Who gives a fuck if it goes to 250 if I never get a chance to open that sucker up?
Because Sea of Thieves, that's not going to push, again, with the type of graphic style. It's more
I don't know why you guys are
gameplay.
hating on this game so much.
Well, I saw.
I'm not hating on it. It's just the
You
sell.
should, yeah.
I mean, I saw what some of the gameplay, but I was just not convinced. I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Mo is to Sea of Thieves as I am to Nintendo Switch. You're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, I just look at
Why
it.
do
I'm
you
like,
do this to
not
yourself?
for me.
We want you to
I'll get to
survive.
Nintendo
Don't hurt yourself.
later. Bethesda, again, not really know what's going to be released. Wolfenstein sequel, but again, I don't think that's enough for an hour-long press conference. I'm praying Elder Scrolls that they show a little glimpse.
I think it's too early.
Show a little glimpse
There's a
of it.
rumor that they were going to try to lead towards that. So.
Show just give me a 2-minute teaser. Don't even come out this year. They can say 2018 or whenever it's fucking done. I'm okay with that. Just give me
Summer
2 minutes.
2023.
I'll be fine with that. Just give me a little tease of Elder Scrolls. That would be my expectation. They need a big series.
Just as long as they show you the title, you'll be happy.
Just show that's an absolute. I'm fine with that. No, just show just one little glimpse, 5 second. Dude, because they did it at the EA a few years ago with the Star Wars, like a 10-second Hoth.
Yeah.
Just give me that 10 seconds of Elder Scrolls 6. Again, that's one of my favorite game series. I will be ready.
I would lose my shit if they do something like Return of Morrowind or some shit like that.
They're doing it with online.
Yeah, but fuck the online component. I fucking hate online. I hated that fucking game. I don't know why it's still fucking active. I don't know how people even got into it. I played a lot of MMOs, and that was just... I fucking hate it. We'll get into that some other time. Hated that one.
And let us know how you really feel.
Leroy Jenkins.
Sorry, it's not for that game was not for me at all.
And Ubisoft, again, thank you for announcing that today, what your plans are with your press conference. Assassin's Creed, Far Cry 5, Crew 2. I'm actually excited to see all three again, to see the actual gameplay for Egypt and see what direction they're going, and the two-year difference, how they take advantage of that. Far Cry 4, I really enjoyed, and the third one I probably would have enjoyed as well. So see where they... I hope they go away from the jungle, because 3 and 4 was...
Oh, you haven't heard the rumors?
What are the rumors?
It takes place in like the Midwest, so like the Dakotas or Montana, and it's dealing with the militias. And if you look at the logo, it's red, white, and blue.
Screenshots there, yeah, of what is Montana? Was it? I
think it's like Montana.
Something like that.
So if you look at the logo, it's white background, white lettering, but it's Far Cry is written in red border, and then the 5 is in blue, so it's red, white, and blue. Oh, kind of makes sense.
And you know. Please let Aisha Tyler do it because I like eye candy.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
She does great.
People
Girl word, dude.
People don't like her for some reason. Like there's a lot
balls.
of fuck that. Bring her. I like her in her high heels and nice legs. And
Lana.
Jesus.
Phrasing Lana. That's all I want.
I'm just saying.
Do you watch the Ubisoft comments or you just jerk off to her?
For her.
Just watch for her.
And then I have to replay like another hour just
You know
so I can
she's in
sit
Watch
again.
Dogs 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She has a little...
She was in Syndicate as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's up, stalker? Know what?
I've played all her games.
Dude, I watched The Suit, so I got you beat.
Wow. All
And
right.
fuck all you haters who don't
Tyler,
like
getting
Aisha
a little
Just
excited.
saying. Just saying.
To have her back. She's done it the last 3 years?
Yeah,
4
just-
Yeah, last year, though, she kind of pissed people off, though, really bad. The first 2 years, she was taking... Like, they thought it was good. Last year, she got a bad...
Didn't they have that Joel Mikhail? Or how do you say his name?
I don't fucking remember his name. I know what you're talking
He's
about.
on the soup.
Yeah.
Wait,
I don't think it was Joel McHale, was it?
No, I think he did it before. Or no. I don't know. I know he did the video game awards with Jeff Keighley. And that was a fucking disaster.
didn't go well.
The first
I
one
just
that was.
want to see her. That's it.
But Ubisoft, they always have a big trailer announcement that they did for Watch Dogs 2, Ghostland, Rainbow Six Siege. So they always have a big game that they're going to announce. So again, that's an expectation. They'll always have. They get me excited.
Well, don't they have that Rabbids and Mario crossover thing, too? that they're
Yeah.
doing? So...
Yeah, for the Switch. Oh, Rich thinking about the Switch. So
I do
again,
care about their IP. I wish they cared as
expectation.
much about it as I do.
that they'll come out with another big game that we never even heard of. Hopefully, a new IP. Watch Dogs will probably take a little
Yeah,
back
two
Little break.
years off.
Little break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. And then Sony. they're in the lead. Again, this is more of a hope, but an expectation is VR support. They need to come out with a reel of all the VR support that they have to show that they're behind this. It was launched in October. This is for 2017 and beyond for VR.
So I think that's going to depend on what Microsoft says the day before. If Microsoft doesn't address it, like out of the box, Scorpio's VR ready, and here's our headset, and here's our launch titles. If they don't have a sizzle reel, Sony doesn't have to because they own the market for consoles. And Oculus is kind of dying anyway, so.
But is this going to be hard for them to have Destiny 2 and Call of Duty in the same... They didn't have to worry about that with the first Destiny because Call of Duty was still Microsoft. So that's going to be challenging to have those both shooters and to give them enough time.
But they're different enough, especially because one of them's going to be World War II and the other one's space, jumping around the moon, so...
No. And they have a release date, Destiny 2, September. Call of Duty is November, so they do have them spaced out.
Well, and we saw with the ad campaign, Destiny, they're trying to do a little bit more humor and character stuff, where they're playing it, Call of Duty's very, they're trying to be mature and serious. And
do you expect a PS5 announcement?
No. I think what's going to overrule, I know that there's been speculation that they said that it's going to release in 2018 or something I don't believe so. I think what they're going to do is the people who are thinking that they're going to release a PS5, I think they're going to have gameplay from The Last of Us 2, like a little, hey, this is what we kind of have for you. And I guarantee you that they're going to end that segment with The Last of Us 2 because that is what they just showed a little video trailer in the last E3. They're going to follow it with gameplay because they did it for The Last of Us back when they first showcased it. They just showcased the trailer, and then the next E3 came around, and they showed gameplay, and everybody was like, holy shit, this game looks fucking amazing.
Do you expect a release date announcement?
No. I can see that being a
2018?
Yeah, like a next year title.
Next fall?
But that's why I said right now they could release a little bit of gameplay, a little bit snippet of what to expect, and people will be like, okay, let them work on that. Because they did do that for The Last of Us, and the last thing that they showed for the first game was at the end of the E3 segment for Sony was The Last of Us. I could see them doing it for The Last of Us 2.
I expect them to... I might save that for predictions. But God of War...
I can
released
see that
this fall.
too, but
I'll fucking say it. They open with God of War. They open with God of War, and they have a release date for November.
See, I would close with that then.
yeah.
Because I think they would close with The Last of Us. Get us all excited.
See, I would open with that. I
You
would actually
open?
I would have where you can't tell who the character is, walking through, and maybe they're doing some things, and then it ends with either they turn or they look in a mirror and you're like, oh, it's Ellie.
Yeah, because they did do that for The Last of Us, but
Yeah,
they
kinda.
did it at the end.
But she was playing the guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, but for the first one, there was these what are they called? The freaking scavengers or robbers or whatever.
Yeah.
They're rummaging through like shit and just trying to pick up stuff. And all of a sudden you hear Ellie and Joel, and everybody's like, "Oh, wow, okay, cool. This is what this game is leading to." And they had the zombies and stuff that they introduced. I don't know. I could see them leaving the last two for the best for last. So I can see them going like God of War and then The Last of Us 2.
Pretty much Sony should not have a problem. They have enough big guns to
I see
fill in
them-
that hour and a half.
I see them doing a release date for Days Gone. The
Days Gone.
Yeah, I
Yep.
can see them having a release date for this year for that game.
So they have Days Gone and God of War. It'll be solid.
Yeah, I could see them releasing.
Because
That.
their exclusives last year was not very good. They had
Yeah,
the
but
Last
Days
Guardian.
Gone is more like middle of it to like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
new
you
IP,
pumped up again.
new stuff.
When you
so.
say coming soon and nobody knows what that even means in the next year,
Yeah.
and then you go, oh,
I can see
here's
it.
this, and it's coming out in November.
I can see them throwing like maybe one or two new IPs, but I mean, I don't know, I couldn't tell you what that is. I can see Kojima coming out again and be like, "Oh, my merger with Gorilla," and everybody loses their shit again. They don't even know what the fuck that game is.
He doesn't either.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Even
either.
when the game's out and we've
They're-
all played it, we
they're-
still don't know what the fuck it is.
And,
fuck did I just
and
play?
He actually said in an interview himself, he has no script yet, so Yeah, no,
Well, I
he
did-
did. that was
there
like
scripts
a
reading
week
the,
ago, I believe.
The previous ones, because that
No,
would make a lot of sense.
Because he was trying to acquire like the studio to help him. He got Guerrilla Games on board, but he said it. I read this interview last week where he was they were asking him a series of questions. Oh, how's it coming? Death Stranding, blah blah blah. He's like, yeah, no, we were just pitching ideas, working with the graphics. The modulation of the graphics, whatever Guerrilla has in store for his open world, but I have no script. Oh, okay.
No, Kojima games are basically a strip club.
Yeah.
It looks nice, but there's no substance.
So I mean,
It's fun to look at, but
I don't know. I don't know what to expect, but I can expect him coming out and just, because it's
It'll be
Sony
another
property.
crazy trailer
Yeah,
Yeah.
some other crazy shit.
Yeah.
Half naked man with broken babies or
with
some
a
shit
with a
like
baby.
that.
Guillermo del Toro with like a wine bottle that's half stuck in his face, and
Yeah.
he keeps looking through the barrel.
But he said it's an open world.
He
Game,
said he wants an
supposedly.
open world game, and that's why he
Yeah,
got
but there's
Guerrilla.
there's no script. How does he know it's an open world game?
Exactly my
It could
point.
be
I was just
anything.
like, all right, so where are you going with this?
It's a space simulator that takes place in the 14th century. What?
Who knows?
No, it'll make sense. Trust me.
We'll find out more in a month at E3. We'll just inch a
He's
little
going to
bit more.
show the same trailer he showed for Norman Reedus, except he has clothes on this time.
On a motorcycle.
Yeah.
On a motorcycle.
He has a crossbow.
That's all you need, crossbow. That's all you need.
I just want somebody in the audience to just start yelling, Carl! Carl! Carl!
Death Stranding is not the game I'm looking forward to. It's just The Last of Us 2.
We have 3 years to figure out what Death
The
Stranding
Last
is.
of Us 2.
And then the last press conference isn't a press conference. It is the Nintendo Spotlight. My expectations for Nintendo is to sell me why the fuck I got a Switch and what games am I going to play for 2018.
You already bought it. They don't need to sell you.
No, but what games am I going to play for 2018? Why the fuck did I buy this
Breath
thing?
of Fire. Or Breath of Wind, whatever it is. Zelda. You're going to play Zelda, you're going to play Mario Kart, and eventually you're going to play Mario Odyssey.
But for
Done.
2018 after that, that's 2017. The next year, that is my
We'll tell you
expectation.
next year, don't worry.
That is my
You're happy.
expectation is 2 surprises of games.
Surprise number 1, it's going to come out in like a neon yellow. It's exclusive. There's going to be only 100,000 units that are made. Pre-orders are available at the end of this press conference.
This is why Nintendo needed a press conference, like an actual press conference, not this.
They're
shit.
doing 2. What are you talking about? They got a spotlight.
They have
and they got
Treehouse, dude.
What the fuck is Spotlight?
It's
What
a
the fuck
direct.
is-
So Spotlight is a direct.
How is
That's all
that
it
different than
is.
Treehouse?
Well, Treehouse is live. You bring developers and they interview and they show gameplay. Where Spotlight is a direct. It'll be 45 minutes of just footage of
Bro,
what the other directs.
you remember when in Treehouse when they showed Star Fox? That was fucking painful to watch.
Well, Star
Painful.
Fox
I
is
just, I
painful.
just want
Well,
a
yeah,
bunch of
it did
shots
terrible.
of Mr.
But-
Miyamoto sitting on a couch with a guy that speaks even worse English, sitting there going, Mr. Miyamoto says, and just lying his way through, and the vast expanses, and music has always been
No,
important.
it'll be a 5-minute trailer of Link just going through the
They
woods.
could do so much.
Look
like,
at the grass. Look at the grass. See how there's no enemies populating it? But look at the grass. The grass is amazing.
like they just have so much potential and they just fuck it up. They have. I'm
Before
really
the spotlights even happened,
I'm just really.
you already gave him an F.
Yes.
What?
They've been getting a fucking F. They've been getting the fucking F for like 3 fucking years.
Can I ask, how is the Spotlight and the Treehouse combo, how is that different than a press conference? Other than how it is fed out to people. Because it's not going to be, you go through Nintendo sources to watch the video. But how is that different than
You don't need to
normal
rent
press-
out a fucking stage.
But
And you
it's-
don't have to be a big environment. It's more controlled. Direct is more controlled environment, and the E in a booth is more
But
controlled.
it's still a press conference just in a smaller atmosphere.
Yeah, and that's
More
that's all they're
intimate
doing.
setting.
No, they fucked up with.
So why are we giving it special names? This is what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
they
with the
give
marketing
it. They
bullshit.
give it a spot.
Well, we don't have to buy into it. Just call
It's
it
a
a press
direct.
conference.
No, a direct.
It needs I think they need a press conference.
It is a press conference.
To me, it's bullshit.
It is, because we're sitting here pretending like it's not a press conference, and they get a special say on everything, and it's just more the same bullshit if they don't really have anything other than their key 5 titles, and half the time they're just regurgitating something from the previous console.
I just wish they could just do what Sony did last year. Like, just come out, be like, game. Okay, Fire Emblem. great fucking RPG. Okay, game Monster Hunter, because Capcom gave him that fucking IP, which it belongs in PlayStation or Xbox. I'm just saying, for the fucking controls, and you left it on the fucking DS, and I'm still mad about that, but we'll talk about that.
Do you think that's a great point? Do you think Microsoft copies what Sony did last year? Because that was the first time any
No.
company has ever done what Sony did.
I can't see them do that. I think they're going to need to talk about the actual Scorpio. They need to,
Okay.
And I think that they need
it
to
would be
focus on
important.
the fact that they want to be known as the gaming system because they fucked up. And part of that is like today they announced that a bunch of their backwards compatible stuff, over I think 200 or 300 titles, are now discounted on the Xbox Store and stuff. And mention that all that stuff is readily available. You don't have to emulate it. If you do the emulation on PlayStation, you could have the title on your shelf. You can't put the disc in a PlayStation 4 and play it. You have to emulate it, so you always have to be online. You always have those little stutters with the connection and all that kind of stuff. Where Xbox, if I have the game, I put it right in the drive and it'll play. I can download it.
They need to
Either
showcase that. If Sony was releasing a new game console, they would have to actually have a segment and talk, and not just be like, "Okay, here it is. Here's showcase everything," and that's it, and just walk off.
And I'm not the first guy that's brought this up this week, but as soon as they cracked emulation on the 360 to play Xbox, the original Xbox games, that's just a software thing. It's not based on hardware anymore.
Right.
So why not put some of those, at least your greatest hits titles, available there? Even like a package at $20, and you get like 10 titles from the first generation. Or give that as the anniversary gift for your live subscribers as a thank you, because you're the true gaming environment, and start doing stuff like that because they used to. And they need to go back to arcade. They need to really push all those things. And I think that's what they... Not just Scorpio, because remember, they think Scorpio is a niche market in their grander plan.
They have admitted it.
They need to go for, we're the gaming console. Sony's been too busy trying to keep their film division going. And remember Powers? It was a great show. Canceled. We were doing this. Canceled.
After season 2.
Yeah. But still, they were focused on other stuff, but they still had games. So Xbox needs to come back with, not only did we learn from our mistake, we're making it up to you. And they just flood you with, here's all your backwards compatible stuff, here's the new exclusives, here's how we're going to do this. And then for the future, the next step to the next generation, the Scorpio, boom, laid out. And then make PlayStation react. That's why I said VR is not a focus for PlayStation, because they think they've got it cornered, unless Microsoft has something where like, Scorpio comes out, it's $500 and it comes with a headset. I don't see how that's financially possible, but if they did it, that would turn that into a horse race.
I can see them. I mean, I can see PlayStation actually talking a little bit about their VR. I don't see why not.
10 minutes.
Yeah, or something. I'm sure they'll showcase something. For releasing a new gaming system, that needs time and attention. It needs that. So I don't foresee them copying Sony what they did last year. It just wouldn't work. They could do it next year, but not this year.
Because what Sony did was just game after game, like 5 games in a row. Then someone came out and talked. Because usually Microsoft developer talks for a few minutes, clip.
Yeah.
Then talks for a few minutes, clip. Like it was the same standard status quo of how it's been for the last 10 years of how to do a video game press conference. Everyone wants to come out, talk about what we're going to see, what they're doing, and then clip. Sony was bam, 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 bam. Like, holy fuck. Didn't even give it a chance to fucking breathe. Like, top game after top game after top game. Even though the games weren't going to be released in that year. But again, it shows Sony this is what we're doing for the next 2 years. This is what we have. We have some badass games that you're going to love. So, we're in the segment as in, which press conference are you most excited for? Out of the 6. If you only could watch one, what are you most excited to see?
I'm sticking with Sony for right now.
Why Sony? Why are you most excited?
I just like the new IPs that they've been bringing out. It makes me excited as a gamer to see these games come to life. I mean, they've been hitting me generously with good storylines and good games. Online games and storylines important to me.
And Rich, which press conference are you most excited?
Microsoft, but I'd say Ubisoft is right there too.
After today, Ubisoft it wasn't even expecting, but yeah, I want to see the new Assassin's Creed. I want to see the new crew, see what they improved, and Far Cry 5, because 3 and 4 have always been like incredible graphics, incredible gameplay, great story. But I'm gonna go Microsoft. Is the one I'm most excited because of Scorpio. I'm very intrigued of how they're going to sell it. Again, it is a niche, but how they're going to sell it to the hardcore gamers to convince them of, because it's the same type of game. It's not a new console.
Right.
It's not exclusive. It's like why Xbox One is $250. Why pay for this $500, $600 product?
Yeah. How's it not just a new SKU?
Exactly.
Double the price.
Double the price just for updated graphics? No. How are they going to sell this? What's their strategy? You're going to see it in this hour and a half press conference. And what games are they going to do to sell? So that's what I'm most excited, because I've the most invested, because I do plan on getting it day one. But am I going to be a fucking dumbass and get day one and not use it for any reason? Or am I going to actually be able to show it off and like, this is fucking 4K and what it should look like?
Netflix, bro.
Exactly.
What, they just
Netflix in 4K.
No, Bob's Burgers got dropped at the beginning of this month, so bye. I'm out.
Buy Netflix.
Nah.
No 4K.
Yeah, fuck
Bob's
it.
Burger.
Fuck the Defenders. I don't need to see that shit. Mr. Science Theater, I'm out. No Bob's Burgers reruns? Fuck you.
God damn it, Netflix.
It's on Netflix, man. It's not
No, I watch Netflix.
So that is our opening coverage. I'll just move on. That is our opening coverage of E3. Again, we'll have coverage through every week leading up to the show, leading up to our predictions and our reactions. So please let us know in the comments below what are your expectations for this year's E3 and which press conference you're most excited to see.